Well, those are just some of the rules. How to survive in Horror Survival Guide 101. You've had plenty of rules, and we laid them out for you. Break them if you want to. Uh, but we are going to get ready to talk about Agatha All Along. This episode, boy, this episode.
I
That's
mean,
hand in mind.
Hey, what did I said beginning of this TV season? Marvel, y'all got competition because these run times is getting shorter. Like I said, this entire week has been that one Deadpool quote.
Hey, we're all grieving. Yes, do you know what he was doing in the budget?
That budget is budgeting because this episode was about our very own Patty LuPone.
And the shortest one yet.
But
No,
damn,
it's
it
not.
was this. But it actually it wasn't. I think Billy's
not,
episode
yeah.
was the shortest one.
This one was like
Yep.
37 minutes though, wasn't it?
It was one that was like 29.
Yeah.
Damn.
So Patty LuPone. So I'm going to war over that one. Patty LuPone. I was just like, no, you went out like a G. I still got to go to war for you though. Because it was an everything, everywhere, all at once type episode. And they cleared it up pretty quickly. Everything she was blurting out, she was seeing things in the future, dealing with things in her past, dealing with things in the now. And God bless Jennifer Kale, because she has the patience of a saint. She was like, yeah, you said you would be like this. You said she didn't flip out that she was like, oh, you lost yourself again. Okay, you said that was going to happen. And she rolled with it the whole time. But damn, this whole time, Billy thought he had to read the tarot cards for Agatha, when in reality, it was Lilia's trial to read her own cards. But here's the thing. One, they were all dressed up as classic witches.
Yeah, so what? The Wicked Witch of the West, Maleficent, and then who were the other two?
Glinda the Good
Snow White.
Witch.
Snow White.
and
Glinda the Good Witch.
the Snow White
And
Witch
evil witch, the evil
from
witch.
Snow White.
Yeah,
Snow White.
White's the evil queen.
Patty LuPone was the only good witch.
That's what I was
And the
thinking. I almost said fairy godmother. I'm like, that's wrong.
Yeah, she
Wait,
was.
where
She
was
was.
it?
She was Glinda.
Where was our sister from?
Snow White.
Snow White.
Snow
Yeah.
White.
Yes,
Oh,
Snow White. Yeah.
Yeah.
When she gave Snow White the apple, she posed as an old woman.
Okay,
And
She's
she-
been holding the apple in her hand.
Yeah.
that's what it was. Okay, that Snow White's the one I think I've seen the least out of all the classics. But Disney was like, let me just remind y'all who owns this shit for this episode.
Isn't this supposed to be a live action coming out soon?
Yeah.
Wicked.
Wicked.
Already.
No, I mean it's Snow White. With
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that just.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Another one. Yeah.
But
I also
this
thought
is
that
no. Go ahead.
what you call it was giving Elphaba more than Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
She
What?
was.
Who?
Alphabet.
She was
Agatha,
giving
yeah.
Elphaba.
She was like, "Oh, it was based on me,
Wicked.
you know," and yeah.
Okay, so does she become the Wicked Witch of the West, or I only know so much about green-faced women in that realm of.
That's
I,
right.
I didn't know she had a name.
So Alphaba
I
didn't
hear
like
you. I
like
didn't
much
know.
like they do with Maleficent, with Angelina Jolie's Maleficent. She's not evil. She just minds her business, and people keep pushing her.
Because she's different.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they just like, it's similar to my guy from 40-Year-Old Virgin. You want your nigga here now. It's just one of them moments. It's like, this what you want? Okay.
The
But no,
society
this
that shape her into who ends up terrorizing Dorothy. Then is that the case?
pretty much.
Kinda.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm still talking about the same person. I just never first time hearing that she had a name.
Facts. I agree. I did not know.
So
can we acknowledge that Agatha at some point has watched Finding Nemo because she called Lilia Dory.
Story.
Mhm.
She did.
it's Agatha's sarcasm, and it's very much covering trauma and heartbreak and everything is very much covering all that stuff. Her sarcasm, because even when she says, "You know, the Wicked Witch was based off me," and Billy he shoots the sarcasm right back. Yeah, prove it. And he just,
Right.
I'm like, dude.
He is not. What is it? The thrill is gone.
Yeah, he's like,
Hammer
I'm
has
not with.
worn off.
He's like, I am not with the fuck shit. He's like, I'm not with it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm very over the bravado and the hard headedness of these two. Like y'all knew this trial was not for you, nor was this gonna go the way you thought. So
I don't think they knew anything.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I
know.
agree. I think they actually thought the other two were dead.
fair
So,
enough. Just which even where they ended up, that's 1,000 other questions by itself.
So, we get Lilia's past and stuff that she's dealt with and everything that she's blurted out, played out already. And you just like, oh, I need to go back and watch this. Oh, I get it now. I get it. But damn, when she comes in there and pretty much like just says, hey, I hid from my power. I didn't lose my power. I hid from it because she was scared of it. She didn't understand it. And like she said, every town she came in, every town she rolled into, she was chased out of because she predicted disaster or death, and they wanted her head on a pike or at the stake. So yeah, she hid from herself. But by her hiding from herself, she didn't really access her power as much anymore because she's like over 400 years old, right? So
yeah, she's centuries years old based on just where we saw kind of where she
episode
came
1
from.
Yeah.
Based on her origins and kind of like the surroundings of her childhood study area, she's definitely from a time before us.
Like she's lost the coven before. And she does, and she's just getting accustomed to the coven she has now because it's been so long.
And apparently, she saw her coven's death as a kid, but nobody listened to her. Which I'm trying to think of how long ago it was. Did her?
I had to look over, didn't I?
Yeah,
I'm gonna put you in timeout, Mayhem.
Did her coven get wiped out by the Black Plague?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they did, and she predicted that, and it was like there was nothing she could. Once again, something that's happening that she can't control. She has no control over.
But her teacher was
wait. It wasn't she said it was a fever. I don't think it was the plague. It was too far back. She's 400.
Yeah.
That was the 1600s.
I mean, depending on what the symptoms are, she would just know what the symptoms were back then. But I don't think it would have had a name until maybe like a century or 20 years after the fact.
Could have been a flu.
The plague was like what, the 1200, 1300s?
Was it?
I don't think she's that old. I don't think she's that old.
I know
I think it's before the Renaissance.
Agatha said her age as in a jab.
Yeah.
But she's over 400.
Yeah.
Yeah. 450.
Yeah. So she was just like, oh, okay. And I'm like, okay, but
her outfit is given the Medici.
Yeah.
That era of
Assassin's Creed.
That's kind of what I was getting, like early AC 1 and 2 vibes off of her origin story. And like I know I said the last couple episodes, I think the tarot has been like her stepping out of her element and opening a door to other things. But then I kind of connected, what if she's just talking to herself? And sure enough, that's kind of what was happening. She's basically mentally time slipping. And it's just all, which, thank you, Loki. She basically is just giving messages to herself. So when she said that don't try to save Agatha, I said that like a week or two ago. I'm like, what if that's all just fragmented pieces we're not getting at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, so when she is back in her home or in her training, did she actually like go back, or is
be right back?
Is mom's or grandma, or whoever, such an OG? She understands when she's talking to the older and younger person, just in the younger girl's body.
Yeah, because she knows she's teaching her. Like at times she's trying to teach her how to read tea leaves, and she's like, I don't read tea leaves well. Like she doesn't know how to. She can do a lot of other stuff, but like as far as divination is concerned, but she just doesn't know how to access that. She doesn't have the skill set to read tea leaves. So that's like she was like the head of the coven, that older witch, and she was her teacher. She was showing her how to do it, which is a very different contrast than what Agatha and her mother, their relationship was like. Very big contact, because you have one that's like, it's okay, try it anyway, opposed to Agatha's mother's like, look, you're evil.
That was the thing, almost like without even any kind of transition in the conversation. Like she just continued on like normal, and she would just go, "Oh, you're visiting," and then we switched to the adult.
So even with that, you could say that's why they would go into Italian and English when she was talking. Because when she was talking in Italian, she was talking to her as child form or child. When she was talking to her in English, she was talking to her as older Lily.
Yeah, because
You know what I'm
she
saying?
was
So,
picking
like,
up on
she
it. She was
knew.
like, okay, you're at a different point now.
Yep, she knew.
That's all I'm saying. She
It was
like not
almost,
even
it was
like,
almost like River sing song. Talking to
Yeah,
Jeffrey.
River Song.
It
Yep.
was almost like that in a
Yeah,
sense.
she was like, oh, we haven't met yet, dear. You know,
Mhm.
but here, let me impart on you some information. She had a lot of, because she knew she had patience. She was like, okay, this child is young, and she's learning these things, so of course she's going to be slipping. She's going to be at different points, and I'm being patient to ask the right questions, to say, okay, where are you now? You know, when she would say stuff like that, she was like, where are you now? And then she's like, okay, I'm this to that. I'm here. Okay, let's continue on. Read the tea leaves. So she was training her.
Mhm.
She was essentially training her, and it was in her memory. She was like, okay.
but yeah, because the way she was doing it, it was the way she didn't even like flinch when she was switching between being a child and an adult. So she just carried on the conversation seamlessly. It was just like, so where are you at now? Did you find your people yet? How long has it been? It's just like you were just talking to it, and then they switch, and it's the older one. So I'm like, is she still seeing the child, but is able to tell the difference between when she's there or when she's? Because that's what made me rewatch the second time. I'm like, what's is this in her
You got
mind?
it.
And I'm like, no, she's literally her mind is a highway with just multiple lanes, just sending. It's got the same info, it's just sending it at different times.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What I can appreciate is that she's not afraid, or at least her teacher is not afraid to show, like, hey, there's certain things going on, and you can't miss it. And she's showing it. And the fact that and there's another fact that she was really getting attached to Jennifer and Alice and maybe Agatha. Definitely Teen. When she recognizes Teen, she's like, okay. And then when she shows up and he's reading her mind, but you don't hear him like you would normally hear him reading her mind. He's reading her mind, and she was like, it's okay. He's like consoling. It's okay. I'm not mad at you. You know, and that he was like, it's not your fault. I'm like, they were coming together. So when she realized she had to read her own cards, that's where it became like she took the reins and ran with it. And that was the other thing. Yeah. That when Agatha was real, the Titanic went down and Hindenburg blew up. Yeah. And that's another question. That's another answer.
Mm-hmm.
Real's death. Real is Lady fucking Death.
Death comes for us all. What did you do with the other girl's body? Like, I still have questions.
Which other girl?
So,
Sharon?
Yeah.
Mrs. Hart?
Also,
I think they buried
not
Mrs. Hart.
Sharon, the other witch we just lost. I can't
Alice?
remember. Alice. Yeah.
Alice.
They left her on the floor of the treehouse.
But that's when Rio disappeared. That's when she disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if she comes back like puppeteering that body too.
Yeah, that's when she disappeared. The Treehouse of Terror.
Yeah, basically. And then when she laughed when they said who's with us and it was Death, and she laughed, I'm like, that pretty much is giving away the
right.
What's up? What's up, Kuma?
What up, Kuma?
Yeah, you see a lot of Thanos baby mom. He wish he was a
Mhm.
baby mom.
Yeah.
And she's got
But
two
no,
in hell right now, so
when she starts replaying those things in her mind and like the Ouija board, and they say, "Who's here with us?" and they said, "Death," and she starts laughing. I'm like, "Oh, it clicks. The pieces are really falling in place." God, next week is gonna be something. So I don't know, Kira, what you think?
I really liked the play. It kind of it hit me a little bit harder probably than other people because it made me think of my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And how as people get older, they kind of like push you off to the side, like, yeah, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, da, 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 da. Especially if your mind is starting to go. Um, but then when you come into your power, also as the overarching theme for women, um seeing her like take off, seeing all of the lessons that she learned as a child come to her and be in this moment for her, real like having her step into her power, realizing what her purpose actually was and how much power she actually had, and becoming um the person that she was always meant to be on this particular path was really really well done, I think. Also I think I made a kind of a leap guess last week saying we don't really know who Lilia is up until this point now. Like
And I'm
there
not gonna lie, out of all the trials so far,
hmm,
I like hers
it
because
made the most sense.
yeah,
As
it was
chaotic as it
something.
was, it made the most sense.
Yeah, because she is her saving the coven, because once again it's like redemption, right? When she solves basically her, when she clears her trial and she gets everybody out and she gives everybody another clue, and she looks at Jennifer, she's like, "You're the path ahead," and she closes the door, and I'm like, "Don't close the door."
yeah.
Like,
What did she
She
say?
wasn't
Her
meant to go on that path.
yeah,
what was Homegirl's tarot card? She said like the new so I'm blanking on it. Yeah, the
high
one
priestess.
like
She's the high
yeah,
priestess.
the high priestess. I'm like, what is that supposed to lead into? Which lets me know you at least make it out the end of the show. I hope. Um, but I'm just like, I hope that at least gives you some kind of good future that plays off outside of this. But I'm curious to what that means after this is over or next episode.
She might be the head of the coven, because isn't that what the high priestess does?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? No, isn't the high priestess? She just has immense power. It doesn't say she's a leader.
What
It
was
just
it?
says
Immense power and afraid to use it, wasn't it?
but I think it was turned off. Like she's unable to tap into it or won't tap into it.
I think it's
And
one.
I think for her it's really more of a won't. I'm
Yeah, I
pretty sure
agree.
it's there, and she's just like, the last time I tried to use it, somebody probably tried to take it from me kind of mentality. Whoop de boo is stuck.
Yes. Hey man,
Woo, first of all.
Streamlabs.
And I
Streamlabs is
think
looking real nice right now. We're about to have a Ustream level exodus from StreamYard right now.
Oh my god.
Can you just take
Oh,
her out and put her back?
I could try. See what
Hard,
happens.
hard reset. We're in a hold, folks. We are in a hold. Technical.
Yeah,
Difficult.
she'll jump back in. But yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you, Kira, because the way this is all playing out for her, and I'm just like, oh, but then she does that thing, and
It's gonna
not
piss me
all.
off if they do that to her. It's gonna piss me off.
Yeah,
It's gonna
and
if this black woman gives
oh, I'm not gonna. So for those who are watching, I have my latest TikTok. Literally has me saying I'm going to ride to get my lick back for Lilia and protect Jennifer, because
Mm.
this is something we cannot have. We cannot have
Yeah,
this.
that first little bit of the episode let me know I do not want to. I just said I don't want this to be just teen. I don't want it to just be teen and Agatha. Like I keep saying it, the whole "I'm a mean girl" and everything shtick it's getting old by the opening credits. Like you could ask me any question, ask me a different question.
mm,
Yeah.
It's like I'm like we know the real you. Like please stop it already.
it's
I
not a
think
secret no more.
We know, and I'll be doing something with Agatha. I gotta make myself just dive in and do something and record it. But we know that you're the star of this thing. We know this is not the last we're gonna see of you. We know this. We obviously, I've said it before. You're doing a spinoff of WandaVision by starring Vision. And it's called Vision Quest. You've already said that Billy Maximoff is alive. He's looking for his brother. You've announced that there's going to be 2 other spinoffs starring people from this show. So that means whoever is left, obviously Agatha, obviously Billy. When doubt, there's hope. Jennifer's involved in that because her character is something different in the comics as well. I don't see you not bringing back the mama. The fact that he says, "Oh, the Scarlet Witch is not his mother." Little boy, yes, she is. I hate to tell you that. She is. She's your mama.
I think that kind of leads into his identity crisis, which he kind of expressed during the beginning of the trial when it was being done correctly.
Hey, yeah.
Jennifer,
we never got an answer as to whether or not he's Billy or, well, Maximoff or Kaplan. We never got an answer.
So I don't think she basically saying tarot isn't about finding the answer. It's about just getting aimed in the right direction towards it. So
it's about transformation and everything else.
Yeah. So she didn't need the question that he could answer. It was more so he just needed something honest to play the correct card for him, which we now know he's been questioning, which circles back to finding out she didn't put the sigil on him to be malicious. She was like, before you try to jump into being a witch, like, find out who you even are. So those 3 years that happened, you needed those to just find yourself with this new blend of soul and body you're going to become in about 5 years.
She was actually protecting him.
Yeah.
She was like, because she's seen destruction. She's seen what Wanda was doing. I need to help this child because if she gets a hold of him, she's a problem by herself. If she gets a hold of him in the state that she was in, there's no telling what would have happened.
Yeah, that plus being a brand new life in a foreign body was probably its own craziness to try and work out. So he needed 3 years to adapt to a new life, adapt to having new parents who I'm guessing he genuinely cares for because
they raised him. Yeah,
to
he
him,
has a family unit.
To him, that's his supportive parents, especially his mom, not Wanda. He has a partner he cares about. So this is versus just I'm alive again, jumping right back into the witchy shit.
Yeah.
So good on looking out.
Whoopty, what do you got?
Well, I kind of had a feeling for the duration of the episode. Well, in the previous episodes, that she might have been experiencing the show out of order. When she started with I didn't know what order it was, but I just felt that she was experiencing something out of order.
Mm-hmm.
Patti LuPone did her thing.
Yes, she did.
She did her thing. Does anybody think this is the last we're actually seeing of the 7? I mean, we saw bodies.
Here's the
Only
thing.
5.
We only seen 5.
That was my question. Like, can't 2 of y'all fly?
Two of them that wasn't in there.
One is an owl and one is a crow, right?
Right.
Yep.
The ones
like, why did we bring y'all here?
Is the owl Vertigo?
Say that again.
Is the owl
Vertigo?
I think so.
Okay.
Vertigo?
I'm actually replaying it. You mean like not in the comic book Vertigo? No.
I thought that's what they had named it.
No.
Okay.
That's DC. That's the DC imprint.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But here's the thing. Lilia literally saved the day for everybody.
I was like, you couldn't just hang on just a little bit. She
got his book back. She got the cards read. She was like, "Look, I'm about to clear this board."
That was when you knew she had her shit together. That she was where she was supposed to be. how she was supposed to be, and she showed up. She got them
then
out. She flipped the room.
Talking shit to the five. She was just like, yeah, they say you never stay in the room after you passed your trial, but here's the thing. She pulled the Rorschach. She pulled the Rorschach. She says, I'm not trapped in here with you. You trapped in here with me.
Right.
Not afraid to die.
And she did it. That's why that sacrifice was like, yo, you showed up, showed out, and then sacrificed. And I'm like, ah.
Yeah, that part was. I was like, why do we bring all y'all here just to off you in one go? Also, y'all just been making hissing noises and like 6 episodes now. It's also what is going on under the road? Like, why does it look like we're in a sect? Like, why have they been cheating?
I need to know that.
Shortcuts.
I need to know that.
Why is there boxes and shit under the road? And
there was a whole subway sitting over there. I'm like, what is going on over there?
They've just been shortcutting to everywhere that the rest. That raised so many questions about the underbelly of the road. Because I'm like, what is? So looks like a production down here, and why is everyone just hopscotching through this bitch at the end?
Going off of the fact that what you call it hinted that Agatha never really completed the road. We don't really know what's going on down there. They just have an idea of what might happen if you leave the road. What might happen?
Yeah, but not only that, and they said the last time it was 2, and who was the 2? Agatha was one of the 2.
Rhea was probably the second.
Yeah,
if she was ever on the road.
That's the question. That question is still on the.
And she's acting like she's never been on this hoe before.
Yeah. It's like,
or at least she doesn't have anything to contribute to make it easier.
That part.
We're also
this part down.
There's also theories that it's Billy's tactics.
I've been hearing that too, that this is all Billy's creation and he doesn't realize it. But to be
he can warp reality.
But to be 3 witches down and you still are just trying to randomize and basically button mash the trial, like how many times are you just gonna keep doing the same thing? It's getting old real fast. Like,
and
I get that you're the main character, but like the fact that you're fighting any and all development this show keeps trying to give you is starting to get frustrating.
I was just thinking about it. Outside of the first trial, Mrs. Hart picked up the wine, and that's what started the trial, right?
Yeah.
The second trial, he picked up the record.
Right, because he had it in his room. That's what I was asking last week, and I'm just like, he's been the piece of this puzzle almost every time we need to figure something out.
The next trial, he touched the Ouija board. This trial, he picked up the deck of cards. So
see, whoopty, I was already gonna rewatch it, and now I'm rewatching it for a whole different reason.
Can I go?
You started every trial except for the first one.
Can I go all the way back to the beginning?
Go.
How the fuck did he get into Agatha's trap or prison? We still don't have that answer. How did he get inside?
Like her spell? I think what she was seeing, what he's seeing was the real world. What she was seeing was not. She was still under. Yeah, she was still under their spell.
Yeah,
that's what that was.
The spell was literally making her hear different things than what he was saying.
Yeah, see different things. Like she's not driving in the car; she's at a makeshift thing in her house.
He's still the one that broke it.
Yeah,
right?
He had a spell book that apparently had something.
He had been studying. He had been studying.
The only one in that spell, though, because at the end of WandaVision, Wanda put her in the spell, but everybody else was out of it.
Right, and we only know this because Ralph Boner somehow had that information.
Right,
because they know, but they can't do anything.
Well, no. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because maybe to put it more towards that theory is that he is the maker of all of this. Because reading something from a book that's from one of the most powerful witches in the universe, you got one spell.
Where did he get the book from again?
They never said. They never
Yeah.
said, because that
I
book
was
looks
like,
old. It looks lightweight old. I'm like, dude, I
I
know
was
you ain't
like,
just
I'm like,
found
did
no
you
more.
just? I'm
Maybe
like,
he
is this
picked
a
it up
real?
in the Brujapedia.
That was my thing. I'm like, is this a real spell book, or did you like get this off of like at Hot Topic or some shit? Because like, if it worked, it worked. But even then, but there's other people who's bringing up the fact that after they did the first song, the door didn't open until he came downstairs.
Yeah. And that's what. And then when the door opened, it was blue. It was blue.
He was the first one down, right?
Yeah.
So he could have subconsciously somewhat shaped this, but it just I was so confused as to kind of like WandaVision. Why does it look like a set underneath the road? Like I see what was it? There was like a subway tunnel leading out that they could have taken. There's just like boxes of extra material, and then like extras needing to get to the next scene without being seen. Here comes the Seven just strolling through, no problem.
Deus ex machina.
At this point in the game, I don't put anything past Billy because he's his mother's son and he has the same power set. He just doesn't have as much control right now. You know, like even when he tossed everybody in the mud, when Jennifer and Lilia went through the mud, I thought about Sharon. And I said, "Oh, Sharon wouldn't have never died. She would have never died."
Maybe him throwing them through the mud because they were hypnotized or whatever when they went through it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that made a difference for them. Sharon was just off the road, remember?
But see, like he said, he didn't mean to lose his temper. And Agatha said it. He's like, you sound like your mother. And so many your mother. I'm not casting spell. Like, you don't need to. You're the Scarlet Witch. You don't have to cast a spell. You just wave your hand and it's done. You warp reality. Billy can warp reality. So maybe we got 2 more episodes.
Yeah. I'm curious to see
One
how
more night.
Lilia's warning comes through at the end when she's like, when she calls you kooky or crazy, duck.
Which
Yeah.
I'm questioning because how are you there in the future if you're dead here?
Time is an illusion.
But she's dead at that moment.
Yeah.
If
So how
you
does she
are-
know
you're-
it? Because she can't see her
body
own
physically
death.
have to be there in order for that to happen.
I don't know.
Didn't somebody call her Cookie before?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that good lord, that doesn't mean that you can't be in a place if your body isn't there. You understand what I'm saying? If her body is
Like
still
Dr.
there,
like Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan couldn't see past a certain point
right,
because he wasn't there.
right.
He just said, I just see static. So I don't know what's happening. So it will be the same thing. That's a damn good point. She couldn't see what was going to happen if she's not there in some form.
We didn't see a body.